Go on, Ben!
We can hire something different. That's good. First round down and white.
He's opportunity. The left hand, the right hand over the top.
And it's a blessing to be fighting back on British soil.
Is there a high level of respect between you and Junior now?
I mean, I wish him well. You know, I know he's gone to the hospital. I bet he's got a broken jaw.
There you go, beating him. And you know, see, Eubank, Chris was spiteful in that ring, if you can tell. He could knock him out anytime he wanted, but he didn't want to. Just fucking using his jab, and it's hurting him, and it's hurting him.
How the emotions after that, mate. Just unbelievable. I mean, honestly, what I saw there, I can't even bother to moan about the scorecards because I couldn't be proud. I mean, listen, I know me and Junior have had our ups and downs, but unbelievable respect to him. But for my man, Benn, you've just seen the beginning, in my opinion, of one of the biggest stars in British boxing, the people's champion. And for all the rubbish he's been through over the last couple of years, and I know how good and clean this kid's heart is, to see him, you know, I don't think he's quite aware yet of the response.
Competitive all the way through. On edge of your seat, it was good.
Were you impressed by Conor? Because ultimately he was the lighter fighter in there tonight.
Yeah, you know, Eubank is no Golovkin. You know what I mean? You could see the way it started to look tired, but you know, Conor had that energy. You know, moving up the way, he had more energy inside him. But you know what I mean? Equal the match. You know what I mean? He lived up to the hype, and you know what I mean? They didn't let the fans down.
Who won the fight, Conor? You may have won the fight, but you're the one in hospital, not me. If you take a man's soul, that usually means you win the fight. You may have won the fight. I've never seen someone's soul get taken and they still win. So I look at you now and you ain't the same. The truth is we both ended up in hospital, and I was there for dehydration and you were there for the... How much weight did you put on after the weigh-in? Listen, after the weigh-in, we're not going to get dehydration.
Speaking ahead of the fight, Jones Jr., who previously trained Eubank, told TalkSport he still leans toward his former fighter. He noted that Eubank is a bigger, more experienced man, yet warned that Benn's one-punch power can change everything, even while moving up in weight. According to Jones, if Benn lands clean, the entire fight could flip instantly. He added that although he favors Eubank's size and skill, Benn's rise from 140 pounds makes him a dangerous wild card right now in this match.
I think he's come because of the size.
Yeah. Is that his best route to victory, just to force himself?
Yeah.
Speaking about the matchup, Roy Jones Jr. told TalkSport that while Conor Benn can win, it won't come easy. He said Benn's best route to victory is landing a big, clean shot, but even that may not be enough. According to Jones, it's a tough fight because Chris Eubank Jr. has developed significantly, strengthening his fundamentals and becoming a far more complete fighter. Jones added that Eubank will be difficult for anyone to beat, especially a naturally smaller opponent like Benn. Still, Liam Smith's win over Eubank showed it's possible, and that result likely gave Benn confidence. Jones expects an exciting battle, but believes Chris holds the clear advantages due to his size.
Eubank's looking at Conor Benn, he's talking to him, he's thinking to himself, when do I splat this egg around the side of his head? When do I do it? How do I do it? Do I put it in his face? Do I put it on his head? Is he going to see me? Because if Conor would have seen him, he might have blocked it and check hooked him. But it was quick. He distracted Conor by saying, what did you say? Then he reached for the egg and he clattered him right around the side of the back of the ear and the face. And the egg yolk went everywhere. A lot of the yolk missed him, so it wasn't that embarrassing where he's dribbling with.
Froch knows exactly what it's like to face a bitter rival after weeks of heated build-up. His first showdown with George Groves became just that, as the young challenger used relentless mind games to get under the champion's skin before the opening bell. Once the fight began, Froch was dropped by a huge right hand, and later admitted he had underestimated Groves. Although he won by a controversial stoppage, he secured a far more decisive victory in their iconic Wembley rematch. Eubank has already begun unsettling Benn, even smashing an egg in his face during the first press conference at Jab at one of the explanations Benn gave after failing a drug test ahead of their originally scheduled 2022 fight. Eubank will also enter the ring with a clear size advantage. He has competed as high as super middleweight against top-level opposition, including George Groves, James DeGale, and Arthur Abraham. Meanwhile, Benn will be moving up 2 weight divisions.
Box George Groves, he's been in there with
Arthur Abraham.
He's a big punch in super middles, do you know what I mean? And his punch resistance might not be what it once was, and might not be the fighter he once was. I'd say he probably is a little bit sharp, but Conor Benn hasn't beaten anyone or fought anyone of the stature of the people that he's performed against, has he, Eubank? If you look at his resume, it's...
The wins against Arthur Abraham and James DeGale. And super middle as well.
Yeah.
Speaking from his own experience, Froch, who once fought as a Cobra, sided with the bigger, more seasoned athlete. He explained that when you consider all the variables, such as achievements, size, strength, and world-level experience, the advantage clearly leans toward Chris Eubank Jr. Froch, noted that Eubank has competed at a higher level and at higher weights, proving he belongs on the world stage. In contrast, he argued that Conor Benn hasn't accomplished nearly as much. Yes, Benn knocked out former champion Chris Algieri and looked sharp doing it, but Algieri was well past his prime. For Froch, if he had to choose an early favorite, it would unquestionably be Chris Eubank.
Billy Joe Saunders. But the loss to Liam Smith, that was such a bad loss, but he rectified it, wasn't it?
But he rectified it in the rematch, and and Liam's a good fighter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. He was a good fighter. In the rematch, he was dead himself, wasn't he? He was fucked himself. Do you think that he's a heavy favourite, or do you think he's a slight favourite?
I think he's a heavy favourite. I don't see what you can base, unless you're just going on like hype or something. But I don't see what you can't. I don't see what you can. You got to look at facts, haven't you?
Former world champion Amir Khan favored the bigger fighter, giving the edge to the one with the weight advantage in the matchup.
I've initially started off with Chris, even though I wasn't impressed with his last fight, even though I think the inactivity of Conor for the last 15 months might affect it, even though I think he's the older fighter of the two. I'm siding towards Chris, but I'm going to wait until the weigh-in and give you my definitive answer when I see them both on the scales and see what they look like.
Former world champion Amir Khan admitted his earlier prediction favoring Conor Benn had changed after considering the size difference. He said that while he initially thought Benn's aggression would give him the edge, moving up 1 or possibly 2 weight classes makes a big impact. Khan noted that weight classes exist for a reason, adding that even though he moved up to face Canelo, he understands the challenge. He acknowledged that Chris Eubank Jr. isn't Canelo, but believes Eubank's greater size, strength, power, and height give him the advantage over Benn. Meanwhile, Eubank's promoter Ben Shalom also backed his fighter, predicting a stoppage around rounds 5 or 6. Shalom described the fight as likely to be a full-on firefight, noting that neither fighter favors boxing from the back foot or relying solely on technique. Both are at their best when exchanging blows in the thick of action, making for an intense...
Very hard, so I'm worried for Conor Benn. Chris Eubank Jr. is hard to get completely locked in, let's be honest. We've seen it on occasion. He is ready. He has had a fantastic camp. He is training for this properly. He's had a great camp with Jonathan Banks. He stayed in London. He's not gone anywhere. And he's ready to put on a demolition.
I think both fighters have too much ego to fight cautiously. They won't stay on the back foot. Instead, they'll meet head-on in the center of the ring, turning it into an all-out brawl. This fight isn't just about the names, the hype, or the personal animosity. It's about their contrasting styles clashing in a way that promises chaos from the very first round. Shalom is so confident in his approach that he agreed to a £1 million bet offered by Benn's promoter, Eddie Hearn. He even confirmed it with me, emphasizing, make sure he sticks to it if you speak to him. Shalom pointed out that Hearn now seems to be backing away, but if he didn't want the bet, he shouldn't have brought it up in the first place.
Looking for a fantastic fight, but yeah, Chris is Chris.
You know, the people's champion is Michael Watson. He always has been. You know, during our time in the 90s, he was a people's champion. So where are these people today? Stand up for him by not going along with the nonsense and the circus that's been created for this farce of a fight, which is between one fighter who is at 2 or 3 weights above the smaller guy.
Questions have been raised about whether such a bet is even legal, as Shalom and Eddie Hearn, in their roles as British Boxing Board control license promoters, are not allowed to wager on fights in which they are involved. Despite this, Shalom insists he has received the green light to proceed with the wager. I've been told I can do it. We can do it, he said. He doesn't want to do it now, but he's a grown man with plenty of money, so he should stick to it. He should honor his word, and we should make it happen. The fight itself is also expected to be intense. An 18-foot ring will theoretically make it harder for Eubank Jr. to box and move as is in previous bouts, while making it easier for the explosive Benn to cut off the ring and land heavy power punches. Despite this, Shalom is confident that Eubank Jr. will meet Benn head-on.
It's above the smaller guy. The smaller guy in Conor Benn he has had his career destroyed for one guy. Because once you go up to 160, going down to fight, then at 147, it doesn't work. These rules are in place to provide a rail for him for his career. My son coming down from 168 to 160 puts his life in danger because I know what it is.
Benn's best chance lies in Eubank Jr., potentially being drained from making the weight, which could limit his ability to fully exploit his physical advantages. The younger fighter may aim for an early stoppage, similar to how Liam Smith caught this opponent cold back in 2023. With Eubank Jr. taller and looking to control the distance, Benn will have to close the gap and work tirelessly on the inside, focusing on body shots to wear him down. Even if he ultimately falls short on the scorecards, Benn could still make a strong impression by outworking his opponent in terms of volume and aggression. Regardless of the outcome, both Benn and Eubank Jr. are committed to etching their names into a transgenerational boxing legacy, and they have done so with undeniable intensity and determination. That's all for now. For the latest updates on boxing news, highlights, events, and behind-the-scenes moments, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel and turning on notifications to catch every new release. Until next